Hi, welcome to Nina in the Kitchen, where today I am making lemon curd. Lemon curd can go into so many things, and you can buy it. And while there are decent quality products out there, this is by far the best, and it doesn't take that long. So here is how you make lemon curd. I'm starting with 6 egg yolks. As you can see, I only have 3 there. I thought I'd show you how I like to separate an egg. I crack the egg, let some of it run into a little bowl, and then I take the white and I put that into one of these ice cube trays. The reason for the ice cube trays is this goes into the freezer. They freeze beautifully, and when you thaw them, you can make all sorts of things. Okay, now we're back. My egg whites are in the freezer. I have 1½ cups of, this is just plain old granulated sugar. 1½ cups, I'm putting that on a medium heat. I also have cornstarch, 6 tablespoons. That is 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I use kosher salt, doesn't matter. And there's 2 really good tools that you can use here. If you have sort of a paddle type spatula, that's great. These both get into the corners of your pan. This is a French whisk, and this is a roux whisk. And I think I'm going to use that today. I also have 1 cup of, this is a freshly squeezed lemon juice. Well, I'm getting these egg yolks in there, and before they can scramble, you want to mix them up. I'm also going in with 1/2 cup of milk. Now, you can use water for this, and depending on how my lemons taste, I go back and forth. These lemons were very tart, so I'm going in with milk, because what milk does is it sort of takes, if you think of flavor as notes, the lemons were very sharp, and I want them more rounded. So this will take the edge off of that sharpness, if you will, to the lemon flavor. And this will give you a nice creamy, delicious, dreamy, luxurious lemon curd at the end of this. I'm going to thicken this somewhat, but I'm going to need about 1.5 cups more water or milk, or half and half, whatever you decide to do is fine. So I don't want to add something cold to this because it's going to be warm rather quickly. So what I'm going to do is 1.5 cups of water in here. In fact, I think I'll mix it up. So that's 1, I'll go 1/2. And then this goes into the microwave for about a minute, just to warm up. This looks nice and smooth, and it's interesting, I can feel the texture change. It's not thickening yet, but there's definitely, the heat is starting to work with the cornstarch and everything. This is starting to get a little curd action at the bottom here. You see it's starting to thicken up. So now this is a half and half mixture of water and milk, and it's warm. In fact, it's rather hot. Whoops. If you've ever made curd before or something like this, and you've tempered your eggs by taking some of the hot liquid from your pan and putting it in the cool eggs and then mixing it in, you'll notice I didn't do that, and the reason is because that takes time. And if you work in a professional kitchen, or if you don't want to be in your kitchen all day, and most of us do not, you don't have to do that step actually. What I showed you here is a shortcut. And you just stand here, or you call a kid over, or a husband who's hungry, and you say, here, just take this for a minute, and then off you go. Okay, I want you to, actually, could you come in here and just take a look at this? This starts to bubble like lava. That's how you know this is as thick as you need it to be. And I always just stir, get around the edges, stir through the center. Make sure you stir thoroughly here, just to make sure that there's no little pockets, and there's not. Pockets of something that's not a texture like this. This is really beautiful. There are no lumps in here. If you're concerned about that, if you think maybe you scrambled the egg a little bit or something, you can run this through a fine mesh sieve. But yeah, there's no reason to do that on this one. So I'm going to take this off the heat This will be hot for quite some time. 3 tablespoons, so that's 1, 2, 3 tablespoons of butter go in here. This is a cold butter. This is a butter dish that my brother brought to me when he lived in Paris. His job took him to Paris for 3 years, and isn't that nice? This is an unsalted butter. If you're using a butter with salt, just leave the salt out of this recipe. And then the other thing is, and this is optional, I grated the rind off of 1 lemon. Make sure you don't get the white stuff that's rather bitter, that's called the pith. So you just want the rind, and then just make sure that your butter melts. It's almost there. So I'm going to just pour this into a bowl. As you can see, this is very liquidy, and you don't want to use it like this. So what you do is put a plastic not over the bowl, but actually touching this lemon curd, and that will prevent a skin from forming. And when it's cool enough, this whole thing goes right into your fridge. This is one that I made yesterday, and you can see it's very different. I also used milk for this one. So this is the curd that you get. You can put this in between layers of cake as a filling instead of having icing. This is a nice little offset surprise. You can fill cupcakes with this. You can put this into, if you make cream puffs, the little choux pastries that you make, you can put this inside of that. You can fill, oh goodness, eclairs. So when we were making the lemon curd video, my mic cut out, it just died. And so I have a new mic, it's a different day. And I just wanted to wrap this up by telling you a couple of things. One is that the recipe that I made is enough to fill a pie. So if you wanted to make lemon meringue pie, this is perfect. And also you can freeze lemon curd. Not many people know that. You can put it in containers, whatever size you want, and freeze it for up to a year, thaw it in your fridge, and whenever you want it, you have lovely, sunny, bright lemon curd. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you watch this next video on wool bread. That's what I'm doing today. Thank you guys. Bye.